Hey lovies. My attitude might not be the best right now because I do not like this YouTube update. I just updated it. It was acting up, and then I updated it, and now it's worse. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get back into my zen because I already cleansed and everything. That just really put a damper on my mood. But nonetheless, welcome to the channel. I'm gonna try to recenter myself. Um, but yes, welcome to the channel. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. I hope that you like what you see here. My attitude will improve while I'm reading. It's just whatever the fuck just happened that really annoyed the shit out of me because this is the third attempt now of trying to start the same fucking reading. Um, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. If you've been rocking with your girl for a while, welcome back and thank you for the continued support. Um, yeah, I don't know if any of you guys are going through like either like technology problems. Maybe that's what's going on. Could be an omen of some sort. Um, hey Sideria, how are you? Yeah, if any of you guys are going through like tech, yeah, this is a collective, babe. If any of you guys are going through like technical problems, like with your technology acting up or something like that, like apps crashing and things like that, let me know if that resonates because there's something amiss here. Um, but yeah, something along those lines, just even just starting out. And it might be very frustrating. Some of you just might be frustrated in general about something. So, maybe this message is meant to, reach the right people for the right reasons at this time. But this is a collective message of ancestral messages. I'm gonna have to get back up to grab one more deck. I knew I was forgetting something. But anyway, we'll see if I feel the need to pull from them. Yeah, so it's a collective, no personal questions at this time. And yeah, so we're just gonna kind of dive in, see what your spirit guides, your ancestors, so on and so forth, want you to know at this time for your highest good. Everybody's messages are going to, possibly be a little bit different from the next person's. Some things might resonate with you while other parts you're gonna be like, that's not really my story, which is perfectly understandable because it is a collective. So just take the messages as they resonate and leave the rest behind. 1 second, grab something. All right, get comfortable. All right, so we're gonna get started. The first deck that I'm going to pull from is the Ancestor Messages deck. I really like this deck. It's more of an intuitive deck. It kind of gets straight to the point. There is a guidebook. I don't typically use it though. I usually read intuitively. But we're gonna pull a few from here, and then we're gonna kind of dive into some other things and see what they might want you to know at this time. Spirit, want to let positive energy into this reading. Please show the collective what they need to know and see at this time for their highest good. So I split the deck already, and we have when I split the deck, we have Moon. Take note of intuitive messages as well as Wise One. Grow within your current situation. Is here. All right, so this might be a time to really pay attention to like that third eye chakra. Make sure that you have that third eye chakra balanced out because there might be a lot of important knowledge coming towards you. Guardian angel, you are not alone. Um, there might be some insight or knowledge that's going to be passed down to you from your ancestors at this time. Maybe you've been going through some things and sometimes you're like trying to seek some type of assistance, and then they might be saying, hey, this is a time to really make sure that third eye and that crown is, this card spilled out, I'm going to take it. Shapeshifter. Transform and unveil your gifts. See, and keep in mind that a lot of times ancestral gifts or gifts in general are a lot of times passed down from one generation to the next. So there might be something that's going to happen there. All right, so let's start pulling some cards. That card wanted to come out. So there's some other spiritually gifted people here right now watching, or who will end up watching at a later time. Um, but yes. Hello for those of you who popped in. I see my girl Aya is here. What's up, girl? I would say you guys should check out her channel. She's really good at what she does. All right. Clearest, most accurate messages for the collective. What do they need to know at this time for their highest good from their ancestors? Thank you. Yeah, it's here again. Take note of intuitive messages. The moon. Something might happen during the moon phase. We do have moon cycles constantly happening all the time. I'm not sure like when the next new moon or full moon or anything like that is, but I feel like we just had a full moon not too long ago. Maybe something happened during the full moon. Remember I was saying that people might have been having some weird technological issues? Maybe something was happening around that time and you weren't able to figure out what the hell it meant. Um, but that could have been their way of trying to contact you. I just kind of got interesting. All right, we have Stag, trust and thrive. The more that you trust in the process, trust in yourself during this time, trust in them even, right? They're going to be, front and center. We saw guardian angel. You are not alone. Like, you might feel alone often, but they're trying to let you know, like, we're constantly at your side. Just make sure that you trust in the process, keep growing, keep expanding. They want you to keep pushing and pursuing the things that you've been working on. They're feeling the need to work towards. Look, you can't make this shit up even if you wanted to. It's here officially on the spread. Guardian angel, you are not alone. So it's one of those kind of things. When I read, sometimes as I'm talking about a card, it pops up. So, and this is a pretty thick tongue-tied. This is a pretty thick deck here. So, yeah. Let's get one or two more from here, and then we're going to pull some tarot. Aya, you post on here too. How do you feel about the new update on YouTube? I mean, I don't know how long ago you updated yours, but I just updated mine today because it was acting up. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, let me just update it and see what happens. And I hate it. I can't stand it. Let me know if you're using like an older version or if it's the updated. I don't like the updated one. It sucks. All right, so we have three cards that came out. Sky Father, Trust in the Unknown is here. It's kind of like giving me like seeing things from a new perspective too, right? Um, think of like, you know, the eagle's eye view. We have autumn, release the old and rest. So this might be a time of releasing, surrendering. I just heard surrender, control. Like if you've been trying to control the narrative too much, this might be a time. That might be why they're also saying, trust, right? Trust in what's happening at this time. Trust the process. Don't overthink, right? There's a crow on here. Crows represent rebirth. So, this might be like one of those kind of pivotal moments for some of you right now, like a death and rebirth kind of thing. We also see, I said, we also see, it says seer, see beyond current situations. So, this is a time to, really, hone in on your abilities to see. Some of you might be like clairvoyant, you can see things. You might see things happen before it actually happens, that type of thing. Um, but they're, just, all like I'm reading that part intuitively, but they are also just saying, how can I put it? Sometimes when you're stuck in a certain, or you feel stuck in certain circumstances, it's like it's really hard to kind of see past it, and that's why they're like there's so many cards that kind of saying trust the process, see things from a new perspective. Like they're giving that insight to you right now. They're just saying like, yeah, we know things are hard, but just understand we're with you. um and I am getting that for some of you, you have spiritual gifts. I mean, I know for sure one person at least here does. But we all have gifts, different type of gifts, but it's about like those who might be actually honing in on them and trying to utilize them. And here we have protection guardian, drop your shields. Exactly, goes right back to what I was saying. Trusting the process. not having to have to be in constant charge of everything all the time. Sometimes it's okay to surrender control a little bit and let the divine handle the rest, or your, in this case, your ancestors. um they're like, we will protect you, like you're gonna be fine. Bottom of the deck we have, see, I was talking about this too. It says oracle, wait for important information. I was like, you might be getting some type of insight in some kind of way. Not for nothing, even just watching this reading, this might be something that you stumbled upon by accident, and you're like, oh shit, this is kind of making sense. There might be something really important here in these oracle cards as I'm pulling from them. um that's going to allow you to have a sense of information that you didn't have before. And I was saying a little while ago, before this came up, I was saying I feel like some of you guys might be receiving or need to receive some type of information, but there's some type of clash, maybe with technology or something like that, or you might have been having like technical problems, and that might have been their way of letting you know that they're around and they're trying to communicate. Let me know if that resonates with anybody. Top of the deck, we have great teacher. Learn from your spiritual experiences. It's giving me like Hierophant vibes. So some of you might be able to use your own experiences to be able to help others too. Maybe that's something that you're 11:22 when I said that. Some of you might be ready to utilize your own personal experiences to help teach others in some kind of way. And maybe that comes as a shock to you because you're like, oh, I have these gifts that I've been kind of acting like I don't have, and now they're like, look, it's gonna be time for you to start using it. And that, look at that, you can't make this up even if you wanted to. Look, what's here? High priest. So some of you might be high priest, high priestess energy. And it says intend and create. So they want you to be able to start, like you have a lot of a lot of knowledge, or they're about to instill that within you. And they're basically saying, okay, well, this is the time to start using that knowledge and, excuse me, do something with it. Some of you, again, there might be some of you who have had gifts for a long time and you've just been afraid to use them. Like, oh, is there something wrong with me? Is this really real? Like, what the hell is this? And it can be off-putting, because you have, the naysayers in the background saying, oh yeah, that's the demons working shit. Like even with what I'm doing right now, people don't think that this is good. But at the end of the day, it's like it's all about how you utilize it. If you're doing something positive with it, I don't see how that's a bad thing. But that's a whole different conversation that I'm not going to get into. Um, so I'm getting that some of you are kind of embarking on a new journey here, because this happens to be at the bottom of the deck already. Um, Eight of Cups, which is about, moving on from things. Um, Queen of Swords in the middle of the deck here. Very intuitive person. Also very intelligent. Somebody who's a good planner. So some of you might have air in your chart. So this might be a time of using your logic and your discernment. All right, so for this reading, I'm going to do a cross of truth. So it's going to, give you some insight of the things that your ancestors at this time want you to kind of work on releasing, as well as the things that they want you to start to welcome in at this time. All right, do a couple more shuffles, and then we're going to dive in. All right. The Fool, yeah. Taking a leap of faith into the unknown, right? It's scary. You're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I need help here. Help. And that's why they're letting you know, like, while this might feel very off-putting, it might feel a little bit scary because it is so new. You're doing something you haven't done before. They're like, look, we're going to guide you along the way. Like, you're not doing this alone. So just understand, they I see like a little kid, like somebody like holding their hand and saying it's okay, you can do it, um like they just want you to have trust that everything will be fine. You're gonna thrive during these times of which there's this new version of yourself emerging that you might not fully understand yet. And for those of you who are resonating, let me know in the comment section. um And if you're not, and they're just watching for entertainment purposes, cool. Thank you for being here nonetheless. If you're resonating, you haven't done so already, hit that like button. If you're new, hit that subscribe button as well, and the notification bell. All right, spirit. So, and ancestors. Um, so what's like the overall energy here right now? Thank you. Yeah, decisions, right? We have Two of Swords here. So, you might be in your head a lot about how to, approach the situations that you're facing right now, and, trying to like just figure out, like, you feel like you're at a crossroads. You're like, I don't know what to do. I'm confused. And that's why they're trying to like nudge you. They're like pushing you and saying, hey, this is what we're trying to guide you to do. And you might pull back and be like, yeah, I ain't doing it. Did I not, for those of you who have been here, did I not say something about death and rebirth? What comes up? The death card on the bottom of the deck here. Thank you, Spirit. And that's why it's hard, because it's like you have to leave behind old versions of like an old version of yourself, parts of yourself that no longer serve your highest good. And that is a process of grieving. It's hard because, we become so complacent with the person that we are that we forget that, there's always a better version to become. And with that said, they're basically trying to say, like, there's things that you need to do, but you've been avoiding it. The thing is, sometimes, life be life, and it's gonna shake shit up for you, whether you want it or not, want it to or not. God, the universe, whatever you believe in, will shake that shit up. Look, that's exactly what it is. Leaving behind the toxicities, the devil on the top of the deck. Can't make this shit up even if you wanted to. Releasing those old toxicities and things like that. Old ways of doing things, old ways of thinking, maladaptive behaviors, addictions, things that you've been bound to for so long that now your guides and your ancestors are like, okay, yeah, it's time to kind of hang that shit up. It's time to let it go. Yeah, the Hanged Man. Look at all these major arcana that just showed up. Releasing. Didn't I say something about releasing control a little while ago? You can't make this stuff up. I'm just saying, guys. If y'all don't believe, I'm just saying. You can start it from the beginning. Um, but yeah, that sense of enlightenment that you get when you do finally let go of the stuff that's been holding you back and holding you down, keeping you feeling stuck and bound to, this 3D world that we live in, right? Our 3D selves, the very superficial, the stuff that, when you're trying to work on yourself in a spiritual way, you realize there's a lot of things that you have to kind of release and, let go of. So, but the thing is, it's a deciding factor at this point, stalemate energy. What are you going to do about that? What are you going to do with that information, right? All right, tell us more. Something tried to come up. I couldn't see what it was. It's meant to come out. It'll come back out. Thank you. Yeah. Something from the past for some of you. Six of Cups here. So that's about the past. That's about, a lot of times it could also reflect childhood, childhood memories, maybe something from the past that you're having to like kind of leave behind. And it might be something that's difficult to leave behind because, of course, there's the nostalgia, and there's the, you know that heart space that you have created for some of those things, right? Yeah, look. Queen of Cups. So there's something about that heart chakra energy, if you ask me. Some of you might have water in your chart. um but something that is really close to you on an emotional level that makes it difficult to release it. Yeah, but it's time to move forward is what they're trying to say. It's time to move forward, move on, onward and upward. The Chariot is here on the top of the deck. Yeah. For some of you, it might be about you have the Four of Wands here in the middle of the deck. For some of you, it could be, I'm picking up on the way that you were brought up, the values, because that card represents the stability of a household. So let's say if it wasn't that stable in your household, just saying. I mean, we have four people and four legs. This is very, very much possible. Let me know if this resonates. But some of you might have had a very unstable household growing up, whether it was, witnessing your parents arguing and fighting a lot, or, you know, being in a broken home, so on and so forth. No judgment here. It's a judgment free zone. Everybody went through different things, but this might be one of the things that you resonate with, that is an important message here. That might be one of the things that they want you to release. Um, the maladaptive behaviors, the repeating of cycles, right? Because we are talking about, ancestral karmas and things like that. So for some of you, that might have been a thing where it's like, I mean, I know for a fact, speaking for myself, when I look at both sides of my family and the fact that most of the relationships on both sides of my family did not work out. 2020, when I have looked up, you know, everything in hindsight is 2020, right? When you're able to look back and be like, ooh, that's not good. Different things, right? The way that we discipline our kids, and it could be so many different things. You name it. Another thing in my family that I've talked about on the channel, and it gets a little heavy, um, and it pops up a lot as a theme on here. People who've witnessed and or dealt with like child abuse, whether sexual or physical or both. Um, it's a theme that pops up on here a lot. So, if this reading is getting a little too heavy, I get it. I understand. It happens a lot on here. Not everything's going to be, funny, posts. Just get used to that in here. If you always want things to be lighthearted, this is not your channel, just to let you know. But yeah, so for some of you, it could be something like that. And they really are trying to push you to be the one to kind of help the next generations move upward and onward past those types of, those patterns, right? Patterns of abuse and things like that, so on and so forth. If it resonates, let me know in the comment section or react. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Tell us more. What are you making room for? I like this. All right, so you guys are making room for a lot of happiness. The sun is here. Some of you might have Leo in your chart, but yes, making room for just a happier outcome. If you've witnessed a lot of people in your family just miserable, or they want me to say this, notice that, like, I almost choked on my words. If if this resonates, let me know. Some people might have like things like addictions and stuff in their family. Raise his hand. I know that that's one of the things in mine on both sides. So like, you know they really see you as like that beacon of light, as the person who's going to help turn things around in the family. um and it's a tough feat, right? It's not something that anybody necessarily wants. It's a hard job, right? But they trust you with it, and that's why they're saying trust and thrive. If you understand the fact that they're going to help carry you through this, like you're not going to do this alone. um that's when you're going to see a lot of things start to change. Now the only thing is, of course, we have the Hanged Man here again, officially on the spread now. Those cards came out together. These are two major arcana. So these are major transitional periods in your life right now. Gaining a sense of enlightenment in order to be able to move along with this process of finding this greater sense of happiness in your life. And that sense of happiness is also going to be bestowed onto the next generations after you, your kids, their kids, so on and so forth. If you don't have kids, maybe nieces and nephews or something. But either way, I feel like, a lot of those karmas and those debts and those patterns are going to stop with you within. Yep, look at that. I knew this sparkling card was going to show up because I felt it earlier. I was like, the universe will shake shit up when they have to. And there you go. That's what the tower is about. Shaking shit up. Another major arcana. You're gonna have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, is what I'm getting. Um when you start to keep growing and expanding, working on yourself, right? Look, the strength part, all major arcanas are popping up. I'm telling you, it takes a great sense of strength within yourself to be able to, do this. This is not an easy feat, you know? Yeah, it's not an easy feat. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Ancestors. Five of Wands. There's gonna be conflict within yourself. There might be conflict even within the family. But guess what? You're the one that's gonna be the one to help turn things around. And be that source of strength to help make things better. So you know. You guys are the real deal Holyfield up here. Hey Margaret, how are you? All right, tell us more. What's like the foundation of this, or the roots? I don't really want to fly out. All right, so we have the King of Swords here. Interesting. So it could be like an authority. Well, I heard authority, so it could be a father figure or something that's like this. Now, granted, the King of Swords is not necessarily a father figure or authoritative per se, but they do rule with like kind of like an iron fist. Like they, hopefully, it wasn't a physical abuse kind of thing in your family. But I'm just, I did hear that. So, but yeah, they're very cutting with their words. They don't show a lot of emotion. They're very smart, but yeah, there are definitely those attributes about the King of Swords that can be a little bit off-putting sometimes. So if this has to do with family at all, like a father figure, obviously it's about family because we're talking about ancestors, but like if there's like a father figure within, you know, your bloodline who this makes sense about, they're just saying, this is the things that you're working on releasing, turning around, right? You're learning how to say, okay, well, we're gonna bring love into this home. Right? We're gonna show affection. We're going to actually make it okay to be able to, especially when it comes to the children, being able to talk about feelings and things like that, because this is the root here. This King of Swords, that sense of being just very, just closed off emotionally, things like that. I've seen families like that. My family's like that sometimes, like where people have a very hard time. Like I'm so happy that I raised my son the way I did, because like, and his dad too. Like we raised him really well, because like that boy will talk about his feelings. If something is bothering him, he will talk about it. It might not be with the person he's mad at or something, but he'll talk about it, and then we reconvene, and then we talk about it later. I give him advice like, hey, maybe you should address it this way, and then he's like, you know what, that's a good idea, and he'll do it. But he's very emotionally it's intelligent. So that's what I'm getting. Emotional intelligence might be another thing that you guys are going to be working on. That not being so stoic all the time, acting like shit doesn't bother you. Like that's not healthy. That's what we call a maladaptive behavior. So this is, might start getting a little bit psychology based up in here, therapy based up in here, because I did go to school for that. So it's like, but yeah, I'm also getting that for those of you who do have spiritual gifts, because we got the high priestess here now. Remember, we saw the high priest in the other deck earlier. Now we have the high priestess. So that energy is here. Sunseas. Hi, how are you? Hope you're doing well. But yes. So, perhaps, tapping into those gifts has been difficult because you're worried about what somebody else is going to think. Perhaps that King of Swords could even be your own energy showing up too, where you're caught up on what other people are going to think. You're overthinking because you're worried about the opinions of others. Let me know that resonates. So there's more than one message coming in, right? Again, I try to make sure as many messages that I can receive all at one time, I try to make sure I deliver all of them. So I know I could get a little wordy on here. But yeah, we have strength here. So I mean, here on the top of the deck. So it's like, yeah, having that strength to be able to move past those type of patterns. Whether it's father figures, who are very stoic, or people in your life in general who are very stoic, don't show emotion, but you're the one who's going to kind of turn that around, or being able to work on your own sense of overthinking when it comes to, putting yourself out there when it comes to your spiritual gifts and things like that, and not being so, you know, so just, you know, just feeling like, damn, like I feel like I'm meant to do X, Y, and Z, but I keep feeling like I have to pull myself back. It makes a lot of sense. Wow. Okay. So if you just got here, honey, I will strongly suggest when this is over, just for shits and giggles, check out the beginning of this video, and then you'll understand why I'm telling you that. Because I literally just said that some of you might have been experiencing technical problem. So I don't know if you caught the beginning of this or you just, like if you already have been here, so you did see that part, you just happen to like tap in and say hi. But either way, if you didn't see the beginning, strongly suggest, because I mentioned that. I was like, something's going on with technology for somebody. Crazy. But yeah, you can't make this shit up, guys. I'm just saying. So middle of the deck we have Ten of Swords. Yeah, this is the end of this. Closing out these cycles, right? Um, I just heard fighting tooth and nail. It's there's a song in the background that you can't really hear it. I don't want you to hear it too much anyway because of the fact that I might get flagged. If I talk above it, then I should be okay. But in the song, she just says something about fighting a battle. As I'm saying what I'm saying, and then I heard what I heard, and then that I'm just like, there's some confirmations here that this is definitely feeling like you're fighting this battle within self possibly. But the thing is, things are gonna start looking up, especially because your ancestors have your back. You know. Okay, great. You did catch the beginning. That's so crazy. Yeah, I was stressed in the beginning of this reading because I was like, what the heck is happening? 3113 as I said that. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I had to start this video up tried to 3 times. That never happens. And it was after I updated this stupid app. I'm just like, come on. I should have just left it the way it was. I should have just left it. I was like, let's see what this update is about because it was acting up a little bit anyway. So I'm like, let me just see what this hit info. And I regret that decision now. um, what's like the advice or final outcome or likely outcome, I should say. I don't like the word final. No such thing as final. First, most accurate message. Queen of Wands, stepping into your power. Okay, stepping into your power. As the Queen of Wands, somebody who's very, very confident in herself. Even if you're a male, so it's about the confidence. Some of you might have. I was picking up on fire energy earlier. I mean, I feel like all the signs have kind of all the different elements have presented themselves in some way or another. But I have been picking up on a lot of fire energy in this reading, especially Leo. But excuse me. Um, yeah, with that said, really just stepping into that sense of confidence when it comes to going into this new avenue, right? It's like, again, it's off-putting, it's a little bit scary, and it's, you know, they're basically saying take your time. There's no rush here. Knight of Pentacles. There's no rush. Um, Slow and steady wins the race, is what I'm kind of getting. Um, yeah, look. So we got the King and Queen of Swords showed up in this reading. So this is definitely also about discernment. Being able to not let your overthinking get the best of you. What's underneath that one? Let me see. Yeah, and that's the truth. Thank you, Spirit. See, I'm happy I decided to look. Ace of Swords right underneath that. So a lot of overthinking, right? Just in your head a lot about, how to, move in a new direction and do new things. But, remember I was talking about your overall happiness being really, really pivotal right now? Ace of Cups in the middle of the deck. New beginnings here. It's like, the more you step into that confidence and understand that they are here to help guide you when it comes to navigating this, that's when you're going to start seeing a lot of things starting to shift and change in your life. So this really is just a time of, patience with yourself during this learning process, but also being able to have that confidence too. Work towards your happiness. What makes you happy? Not worrying about what everybody else is telling you should or shouldn't do, so on and so forth. Fuck that shit. You've done that too long. That might have been one of the things that you needed to start working on in the first place, right? It's like, they're like, look, no more of that shit. For some of you might come from a background where, you're, somebody, in terms of your ancestors, a grandmother or something like that, might have, sorry, I had a bowl of soup and I put it down here. But yeah, that soup was fucking good. It was on sale at the grocery store. It was the Progresso creamy chicken noodle. I was like, ooh. I was like, okay, let's just see what this is hitting for. I usually get different ones, but I was like, you know what? Feeling like soup today. Keep it classic. but that one like is a little more hearty. So if you guys are like into, canned soups, and you don't always feel like making your own. I know how to make my own soup, but sometimes I just, I need convenience. Soup is really good. But yes, I'm gonna pull from the Shaman's Dream, which was gifted to me by my girl Aya Inspired Tarot. I'm not sure if she's still here, but she's amazing. Great. So when I split the deck, thank you, Spirit, for more confirmations. So we have stars in the sky, limitless possibility. So the possibilities are endless, limitless. There are so many things that you're capable of doing. And guess what? If you keep up with what you're doing and what they're guiding you to do, things are going to look great. Now, you might feel lost. And I said this already, lost in space, needing direction. Exactly. Thank you for more confirmation, Spirit, and ancestors. So they're like, yeah, you feel confused. You don't necessarily know what's going on. You don't know where you're going. But that's the whole point. Like, that's why they're saying surrender control a little bit. Let us help you. Let me help you. um, so keep that in mind. I'm going to pull maybe 3 from here, and then I'm going to pull from my Guiding Light deck, which I love, and I have a quick little story about that one for those of you who are not that familiar with the channel yet. Um, Anytime I pull from that particular deck, I always talk about it, though. You'll see in a moment. Look, the same card is here again. Bottom of the deck. Stars in the sky. Limitless possibilities. I just heard or Infinite Possibilities by Amel LaRue. Love that song. Check it out. Great album, actually. Can't believe that album's like 20 something years old. Can't believe it. Such a good album, though. But anywho, yes. The lady I'm referring to is, if you guys know the group Groove Theory, remember that song? Tell me if you want me to, if you want my time. The lead singer from that group, her name's Amel LaRue. Her first solo studio album. Such a good album. And so like high vibrational. If you're into like listening to stuff that makes you feel good. Great album to check out. Um, Skybridge, possibility for union. Uniting with the right people in your corner. Maybe a stronger connection with source, with them meaning your ancestors, so on and so forth. If there's any relevance at all for any of you when it comes to the importance of how a healthy relationship looks and really focusing on that, because I did pick up on that earlier, that might be something as well that they're letting you know to keep in mind of. Yeah, they want you to really move forward. And that's going to require some changes, right? We talked about that earlier as well. Because on the bottom of the deck, it does say Spirit of the River, movement toward adventure. And then, okay, there's 5 people in here, 5 likes, and the number 50. Take that 0 out, that's 5. So 555. Some of y'all might be seeing that number a lot, or a variation of it, which represents change. When you start to make the changes needed to, move on past all these different patterns, you're going to see a lot of things come into fruition. Look, repairing the veil, forgiveness. So practicing forgiveness. I'm getting karmic lessons here too. I'm not sure why I keep picking up on karma, but I have been picking up on that. I mean, it makes sense, ancestral karma is a thing. Things past that you're the ones that's gonna heal this, and that might come with some forgiveness, like maybe parents, grandparents, so on and so forth. But you're repairing things. Many masks, the authentic self. So some of you might have been, face one of the things that you might be facing right now is the fact that you have not been able to be your true authentic self. I talked about that earlier as well. Feeling like you're always kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. Always feeling like, oh, now I'm looking at it, the number on there is 38. Wasn't I just saying how I kept on picking up on karma? 38 adds up to 11. That's about karmic debts. Another number on here, 47, also adds up to 11. Can't make this up even if you wanted to. So, yeah, I think that that's a big part here, being able to be your true, authentic self. Hey Janice, how are you? I saw your comment, Sunset. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because like look at everything that's been happening, like the thing with the TikTok and all that. So it's been a lot, right? Whole hot mess. um, Cosmic womb, the divine feminine. So some of you might also be helping repair the bloodline in terms of like the matriarchs or something. Like, you know, maybe learning something from the matriarchs even. Um, some of you might need to repair that relationship, or some of you might be learning how to. Okay, I'm getting more than one message, so bear with me. I hate when this happens. There's too many things coming in at once. One of the messages I'm getting is repairing that. The other part I'm getting is whether it's you as a mom or a mother figure in your life, or this has been something that's been passed down from generation to generation, like a bond or a broken bond between mother and child, especially mother and daughter for some reason I'm picking up on that mostly, but it could be both. Um, but I'm also getting just this energy of again giving creation or birth to something. So again, a new version of yourself also makes sense. So I'm getting more than one message. That's why I was like kind of jumbled up. So thank you for bearing with me on that. We have stranger, curiosity. Yes, it's kind of giving me the fool card a little bit here. That's what I pick up when I see that. You know, kind of confused a little bit. Don't know what the fuck's happening. Like, what is this? I, I don't know how I feel about it. There's three people in here, five likes, and the number on here is 53. So that's like a mirrored number. Um, very, very interesting. So you might be seeing the number eight a lot, possibly, or variations of those numbers. In the hand, the universe is your partner. Thank you. Goes back to what we were talking about here. It's the card here. Yeah. Goes back to this energy. You are not alone. So just understand that, while this might be not the easiest, thing to, work on, it's going to be a challenge. It's not going to, be peaches and cream, rainbows and butterflies and shit like that. No, it's not. But you are more than capable of doing it. That's why you were chosen for this job. And remember, I was just talking about, I was getting full vibes. Look, fools embrace, transmuting pain. Yeah, exactly. That's what you guys are doing. We're going to do. Um, Transmuting the pain of the bloodline, healing, right? Wow, this is deep. I knew it was going to be. I mean, anytime I do an ancestral one, a lot of really strong messages come up. All right, so the next deck I'm going to read from is the Guiding Light. And for those of you who were here a few minutes ago when I was saying I always share a story about this particular deck, some of you already are aware of it, but I will share it with others who might not be aware, who are newer to the channel. So, one, I love this deck. Absolutely love it. But also, um, in this deck, I have this that I keep in here as a momentum for myself whenever I have my off times and things like that. So there are two feathers in here that manifested in my home. This one, a pure white little feather, um, manifested in my home on my couch randomly. I went to the bathroom. I came back. There's a white feather sitting there. I'm like, I don't have feathers in any of my pillows or anything like that. Windows closed, doors closed. There's no way that it went from not being there to being there. My girl, Castor River, aka Allie, one of my best friends in the whole wide world, she did a reading for me and she said it was my grandfather who left this for me. This was a message of protection, letting me know that he's always with me. And look how similar this card is, from a different deck, of course, but very similar, right? And then this one also showed up randomly and I kept it. So definitely an ancestor, kind of, always with me, letting me know that their presence is here. Um, but like that white one in particular always like stands out because it's so like pristine white. It's perfect. I'm like this one, I feel like, it's also a nice one, but like, I don't feel like it came from like outside or something. But the other one, like that white one's perfectly intact and perfectly white. I'm like, there's no way that came from outside. The other one, I can be like, okay, I could, be a skeptic and say, maybe it was just like, it just kind of got dragged into the house or something. I don't think that's what happened, but that white one, there's no way. And look what's on the bottom of the deck before I even pull. Sole purpose. It says, oh, and also the number on here is 13. Go figure, right? We talked about death and rebirth already more than once in this reading. Something exciting is on the horizon for you if you follow your passion. Remember I was saying before, like I was picking up on a lot of fire energy. So this is like something a lot of you guys are like feeling really, really drawn to. But the thing is, there might be the overthinking and or fear or lack of confidence in self that might come in and deter you from that path. And the thing is, like they're saying, like, no, homie, you gotta do this. You have been called. You have been called to do it. So they really want you to be the one. Okay. But you can't make this up. Where do I stop when I stop shuffling? Right there, and my phone just went off. Yeah. Yep. Very, very important. They're like, this is definitely what you're meant to do at this time. You can't make this shit up even if you wanted to. So what we got? We got 2 cards that came out. Yep. Look. What was the first card in the tarot? And what did I say? I said something about crossroads energy. There you go. Crossroads. A new business venture, project, or career is currently in the works for you. In this case, we're talking about more on a spiritual level than anything. But remember, I was saying that you guys are feeling like you're at a crossroads. There's a decision to be made. You're embarking on something new, and it's scary. And it came out along with victim mentality. You are learning to understand that everything happens through you and not to you. Transmuting that pain that we were talking about, right? Understanding that, mindset is a big part of this. Understanding that, when you actually, because I keep saying the word understand, so I'm gonna try to use a different word. When you start to become cognizant of the fact that at the end of the day, everything comes down to choices. At the end of the day, aside from the choices, we also have to work on things like we all have our moments. I know I do. But at the same time, it's like when you start to transmute that energy, which we talked about transmutation earlier, when you start to transmute that energy, 4747, as I said that, when you start to get to that point where you start being able to do that all on your own accord, that's when you're going to start seeing a lot of differences, a lot of changes. Excuse me. Let's get like maybe 2 or 3 more from here. And then we'll close out with some sacred messages, and that'll be the end of the reading. I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. I hope that, and I said something about a beacon of light. I swear to you, I called you guys a beacon of light earlier. You can't make this shit up. Come on now. All right. Sorry. What was I about to say? Whatever. I'm just gonna read the card. Wow, this is deep. Beacon of light, you are a leader, teacher, and mentor for many people around you. I said that earlier, guys. I said that. I said I'm picking up on Hierophant energy. You guys are meant to help teach others with the things that you've learned, whether it's within your own family or even past that. Come on now. Spirit ain't playing with y'all. And your ancestors definitely ain't playing with y'all. They're like, you're going to fucking do this. We have Soar. Another number you might be seeing a lot of is the number 9 as of lately. 3, 6, and 9. Holy Trinity number. You are getting ready to fly above all your obstacles, embrace life in the most magical way. Did I also not say, for those of you who have been here since the beginning, did I not say that I was getting like, I heard bird's eye view and I also saw eagle view, like seeing things from a new perspective, seeing things from way up high to see the bigger picture. You're soaring above all the obstacles and things in your life, or in your ancestry, your lineage, in order, I'm gonna get one more from here, in order to be able to help heal it. Wow. This is powerful. Got 2 cards that came out. All right, so we have hardened heart. Don't allow the situation to make you bitter, cold, or aloof. Now that goes back to this that I said earlier. Remember, I was talking about being overly stoic and things like that, not showing emotion and things like that. Here you go. Goes back to that. And we have empathic overload. It is time for you to truly honor your highly sensitive nature. Exactly. So some of you guys might have been shied as children, for instance, for being an empath, being like super emotional and stuff like that. And you might have had somebody, maybe a father figure for some, let me know if that resonates, who would kind of do the whole like, oh yeah, I'll give you something to cry about, that bullshit. Most of our fathers probably were like that, not to be funny, but yeah. So it's like not allowing you to show emotion and things like that. And if you're an empath, forget about it. That's if that's one of your spiritual gifts, because we keep seeing spiritual gifts popping up as a theme in this reading. If that is one of the things that is your gift, oh man, that had to be fucking a shit show for you as a kid. Being a an empath and not being feeling like you can't show your true emotions because of what everybody else is telling you can and can't do, whether it's society, your family, whatever. Like, it's a terrible feeling. I will tell you that for sure. Bottom of the deck we have soul purpose here again. Third time. Third time's a charm, baby. On the bottom of the deck each time. Things on the bottom of the deck are typically things that need to be uncovered. The fact that showed up 3 times now, they are really putting a lot of emphasis on the fact that this is really what you're being guided to do. No pun intended, being that this is the guiding light deck. Um, and then we have reach for the stars. Nice. You have barely scratched the surface. You have unlimited potential. Oh my god, I can't. Where's that card? I probably won't be able to find it. Oh, I hate when this happens. Is it still? Is it still here? It's probably in the middle of the deck. Yeah, it's probably in the middle. And if it's in the middle, I'm not gonna be able to find it again. Yeah, it's in the middle somewhere. I'm not gonna be able to find it. But let me start over. You have barely scratched the surface. You have unlimited potential, and you are getting ready to experience this firsthand. Come on. Yep, that's what the other card said, and then now it says it on here too. Well, this one says unlimited potential. The other one said unlimited possibilities. Come on. Oh shit! I thought ooh, this would have ended. That would have been terrible because my phone did not give me a warning at all. Oh, whew, thank goodness. Like, oh shit! Why did the screen get dark? But yeah, come on now. Spirit is not playing. Wow. And then the middle of the deck, spiritual practice. Let's drop the whole deck. Making time for your spiritual practice will assist you with clearing your mind and restoring your inner peace. Exactly. Remember, I was saying before, earlier, like I was saying, I was picking up on possibly the importance of, you know, becoming closer to source, whatever that means to you, so God, ancestors, ascended masters, the universe, nature, whatever you believe in, whatever works for you in terms of your spirituality, you know. Um, so, take that as it resonates. But I was picking up on that earlier, and I do feel like this is a time to kind of, pour into that a little bit more. So, whatever that looks like for you. And if that means even like, doing more like meditation, getting into your own spiritual gifts more, you know what I mean? Doing a little bit more of a deep dive into that and trying to fine tune things or understand those things a little bit more, which, trust me, it takes time and it is a process and it's ongoing. I'm still fine tuning my own gifts, and there's constantly things happening where I'm like, whoa, what the fuck is this? This is different. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't even know if I like it. You know what I mean? And it's like, like now I hear more than I used to, and I'm like, oh, and I see things too. When I say see things, I'm not saying like I see dead people, not yet anyway, but more like I mean, I see figures and stuff sometimes, but a lot of times what I see is more like premonitions or things that happened in the past, but very vividly. And I've had people come to me and say, "Hey, that was my story. That literally happened to me." And I'm talking about very specific shit, and I'm like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" Like, it could get, it could get crazy. But so for those of you who resonate with that, right, you understand. Um, it could be, a little off-putting, like I said, but you know, you're definitely being called to do this. So yeah, remember I was talking about you're protected. They're protecting you. Drop your shields, right? That was one of the first cards we saw in the Ancestor deck. Drop your shields. They're like, you do not have to worry about anything. You are divinely protected, and they got your back. They ain't playing about you, so you don't have to worry about anything. I'm gonna get maybe 3 or 4 from here, and that'll be the end of this reading. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that it was meaningful, and that you got something out of it. um, I know sometimes these types of messages, they're a hit or a miss when it comes to the audience. Like some people want to watch this type of stuff, and then some people are more into love readings or the funny stuff like the what's the tea and things like that. So when it's a little more serious, it's like, oh, well, and that's fine. But that's why I try to provide all types of different readings on here for that reason. All right, so we have wonders here on the bottom of the deck. Now, anytime I see this particular card, because on this card there's an amethyst, right? And that amethyst is like broken into pieces. But the thing is that amethyst still has the power to heal, no matter how big or small the pieces are. That's you guys. So you're never you're never broken. You know what I mean? You still have all the possibilities still within you to do what it is that you're meant to do at this time, and that's heal your bloodline. Um, Very healing property. Some of you might, resonate with the idea of wearing amethyst or having it around. But yeah, there's a lot of healing property to that particular stone. Um, but there are so many wonderful things about you, and you guys are so capable of so many things that you might not even realize just yet yourselves. Um, so yeah, we're gonna do maybe 3 from here, 3 or 4, and that'll be it. What time is it anyway? 7 o'clock. Not gonna even say it out loud because y'all gonna be like, "Ooh, is she?" I don't know yet. I haven't decided. That's why hitting that notification bell might be important. Just saying. There might be a special treat after this. We have pleasure. Remember, I was talking about the sense of happiness that you're about to experience or that you're working towards. Keyword working towards. Look at the picture. There's like steps there, right? Stepping stones. You have to do a lot of things before you get to this sense of, true bliss and happiness. Before you get there, you got to do some work, But again, there's a pathway there, right? It's lit. You can see it very clearly, and they're just helping you along the way, right? Let's get 2 more. That'll be the end of this reading. Thank you. Blessings, yes. Those blessings are about to start pouring in. Love that. Love to see it. One more from here. Ren, leave grandma alone. All right. Delight, yes. Look. Delight, rather. Again, going back to happiness, right? Relishing in, the things that make you happy, even the simple things, right? Simplicity is here. And look what's on here, another white feather. We talked about white feathers more than once in this reading. Um, Again, the one that my grandfather left behind for me, right? So, the the energy of being just more lighthearted is what I'm kind of getting there. More lighthearted energy, being more positive, having a more positive mindset, being able to embrace your emotions, the good, bad, and the ugly. At the end of the day, those emotions are all meant to be felt and explored when it comes to healing and working on self and helping those around you, including those in your family, work on themselves too. Flexibility. on the bottom of the deck here. So, you know, not being so rigid, right? Being able to be flexible, adaptable. Courage is here. Remember, we saw the strength card more than once. So remember I was saying before, you some of y'all might have Leo in your chart somewhere. Kept picking up on Leo energy before. In middle of the deck we have illumination. I did see this in the bottom of the deck before I started the reading, so it's officially here. You know, things are about to become more illuminated for you as you see things from a new perspective. Now, granted, there is an enlightenment card, but this card gives me that same vibe when I see it. And I was talking about things feeling a lot more enlightened for you as you work on releasing the things that no longer serve you. You know, ways of doing things, old ways of thinking, old patterns, so on and so forth. So yeah, with all that said, I love you guys. You guys are great, and I hope that you know you guys got something out of this message. I hope that was helpful. Um, and yep, definitely hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new. Yeah, so I love you guys, and until next time, bye. I have to figure out how to close this out without losing it because I don't know how this works. It's different. It doesn't have an end thing. All right, well, let's see what happens. All right, I hope I didn't lose it. Bye. Love y'all.